Hey guys, Mike Nelson here with WholesalingHouses101.com. Today I come to you guys with my Wednesday question and answer session. I'm in Panera right now, but I figured, hey, why not? I've been getting a lot of questions from my readers, and I appreciate you guys giving me questions. I love answering your questions. If I haven't answered it on my blog, believe that I will be able to answer it on my question and answer session that I have with you guys. But let me go ahead and get right on into it. The first question comes from Laredo Regular. All right, great blog. One thing I would like to know is, how do you compensate the individual that goes out to check out the property? Do you hire them as an independent contractor or an employee? Are they paid through the company or from each real estate closing? Well, Laredo, that's a good question. Actually, I assume that you're talking about when I do my virtual deals. When I do my virtual deals, I actually partner up with another wholesaler that's on the ground. They have experience with negotiating with sellers, with closing properties. So what I do is I either bring them the deal or they'll bring me the deal. In most cases, I bring them the deal and they'll handle it from there. So they'll negotiate it with the seller. They'll get the contract signed. They'll go out there. They'll take pictures. They'll run the buyers through there. And I pay them by doing a JV agreement. So we split it 50-50 down the middle when we find a buyer. So let's say if that buyer decides to, if we have it under contract for $10,000 and that buyer decides to pay $20,000, our assignment contract will be in the amount of $10,000 and we'll split that 50-50. So I'll make $5,000, he'll make $5,000. Hope that answers your question. Next question comes from Samantha Maury. When you meet with sellers, do you tell them the truth that you work with a group of investors and you intend on assigning the contract? Or do you tell a white lie that you intend on buying/closing and taking the title of the property? Well, Samantha, that's a good question. Actually, what I like to do is we tell the sellers that we're going to buy their property, plain and simple. The reason why I don't tell them that I'm going to go and I'm going to flip their property for a profit is because most of the cases we work with buyers who, we have done deals with in the past, and they are our partners. I assume, I consider it that if we've done deals in the past, we have a partnership, and we're going to, complete this deal together. So they're partners. So I tell the sellers that I'm going to get my partners through the property and we're going to close on your property. It's very rare that I hold on to a property longer than, 15 days. So I tell them, hey, we can close on your property in 7 to 14 business days. Plain and simple. Some people like to go about it other ways. If you're going to have the property for a long period of time and you're going to have a ton of buyers running through, then I say go ahead and tell the seller that, hey, we're going to get your property under contract, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my partners or buyers come through that's going to be interested in your property, and I'm going to get paid from them. That's one way that you can do it. The way that I do it, I've had zero problems in doing it this way, and I've closed over 40 deals this year and I haven't had any problems. So to each his own. It works better for some people, but that's the way that I like to go about it. I appreciate your question, Samantha. Okay, the next question comes from Mosaliah Jones. Mosaliah asks, how much are you paying your VAs? That's a good question. It varies on what task I have my VAs doing. Data entry, I can get data entry done for about 50 cents to $1 per hour. My virtual assistants, I pay them $2.50 an hour, and I pay them a bonus based on how many deals they close for me. So if they close a deal and it's under $3,000, I'll pay them $100. Anything over $3,000, I'll pay them $200. So when you average it out, I looked on Odesk because I actually still have one of my VAs on Odesk. She was making around $6 an hour with all of the bonuses that I was giving her. So that's just a ballpark range on how much I'm paying my VAs. But if you're to hire a VA, I would say if you want to hire someone in the Philippines, you can look forward to paying around $2.50 to $5 an hour, depending on their experience. Okay, and the last question comes from Gene. Hi, Mike. I'm planning on going to an investment group. Are there sellers at these meetings, or am I looking for lenders at the investment groups? I want to be sure. I will need your advice and let you know how it goes. Oh, I will heed your advice and let you know how it goes. Well, Gene, I assume that you're talking about a real estate investor group. You will not find sellers there. Actually, the funny thing is I went to a real estate investment group for the first time in about a year and a half in Richmond, and I actually saw one of the sellers that I had her property under contract. We couldn't sell it because she had a brother who had criminal liens on the property and was tied up to it. But that was a big mess. But to cut a long story short, I actually did find a seller there. Funny that you mentioned that. But no, you will not often find sellers at these investment meetings. What you will find is you will find buyers, cash buyers that are buying properties and renovating properties, buying rentals in your particular area. And also you will find a lot of new people. You will find a lot of new people, but you'll also find private lenders as well. So those are some of the people that you will find at a real estate investment group. They're helpful. And I've actually got in the mix of things of going to real estate investment groups, as of late, because I've learned so much. And that's one of the things, when you're in this business, you learn a lot by, reading, by networking. I learn a lot from YouTube, and even though I've been doing this for a while, I still am learning, and I'm expanding on my knowledge, and it helps my business grow. Well, guys, that's the end of my question and answer session for this week. If you guys would like to have a question answered, please shoot me an email, MikeNelsonREI@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on Facebook, Mike Nelson. You can find me on Facebook. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, people. I appreciate your questions. Mike Nelson with WholesalingHouses101.com. Guys, before I go, I want to let you guys know that I'm coming out with my ebook, and it will be released on December 12th, 2012. Wholesaling Houses. Guys, you're not going to want to miss this. I'm going to teach you guys information that people will charge you. The gurus are charge you $10,000, $15,000 for, and I'm going to give it to you guys. I'm going to keep the price a secret right now, but guess what? It's going to be cheap, and you guys are going to be able to afford it. Mike Nelson, WholesalingHouses101.com.